It looks like icon swaps is coming this week in Ultimate Team, and in this video today we are going to try predict which icons are going to be included in it. So first of all, why do I think swaps is coming this week? Well, normally we get one tied in with whatever the December promo is. So last year we got it tied in with Freeze. Also, on top of that, the fact that a bunch of icon related stuff has now entered the in-game code, as you can see on the screen right here, with what looks to be, some of the reward options from obviously submitting your swaps. So if you want to pause the video and have a read through, feel free to. But what stands out most to me is the fact that there isn't any of, like the 20 plus player packs. Like last year, I think we got like a 25 player times FET 83 plus pack, which was pretty insane, but they don't seem to have been added yet. Now that's not to say that they're not coming. They might just be added into the game at a later time, or maybe they aren't coming, who knows. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But looks like we're going to have plenty of prime icon pack options, and also looks like there's no picks on the screen either, so hopefully they're added at a later date too. In the comments below, I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Now, do you find it quite sad that we're getting less and less like actual icon swaps? Like, what I mean by that is, like, the original one, it was all about getting tokens to unlock X icon, whereas nowadays it's more about different pack options instead. I muchly preferred it when it was, actual icon swaps where you was working your way up to X icon. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. Like, I don't mind it how it is, and I definitely didn't mind it last year with the pack options, but just rebrand it as swaps and just make it swaps only, because icon swaps is no longer seemingly about just the icons. Also, just one more thing, I promise we'll get into the point of the video soon, but does anyone remember, like, the original foot swaps? Like, I don't get why they don't bring this back. It was actually a really, really cool idea, and it just needed a few tweaks and it would have been brilliant, just like Swaps does. But yeah, we got some really, really nicely boosted cards, and obviously it was a similar thing, but it was just something nice to work towards. Like, they could have something like this going every single month and have weekly engaging content. It would be so easy for them to do as well, and it would obviously provide content every single week for us, so we'd never be bored. So why don't they do it? Anyway, before we start predicting which players could be selected to be included, let's have a look at what happened with last year. And in the first set of swaps, the highest value player was Thierry Henry, and I believe he was like 17 tokens or something like that. And at the time of the release, he was about like 1 million coins. So that's probably like, the maximum value icon we're going to get in the upcoming version of swaps. Let me know your thoughts on that as well in the comments. Hopefully they don't repeat that, and hopefully they put, a bit of a higher tier icon in, just because you've got to remember, the way swaps has worked over the years is to get that top tier icon who is, pretty good when icon swaps is first released, you literally have to wait like 2 months to actually unlock him. So by the time that time has passed, that icon is no longer worth what he was at the start. So that's always quite a shame. So hopefully we get, a pretty good high tier icon in this next version of swaps. So if EA are going to do something similar, which we all know they do love repeating content, we probably are looking around this price range for, the top tier icon of this set of swaps. And I've obviously got them on the screen right now. So if we're looking around the, the 1 million coin mark, there are 2 cards which stand out to me that could potentially headline it. One of them is Wayne Rooney, and the other one is Carfu. I definitely expect one of the brand new icons for FIFA 22 to feature at some point in this promo, and I think, the main one being Rooney, I feel would be quite appealing to a lot of the fan base. So I think there is a good chance that we see this 88 rated Rooney as one of the top choices for swaps. In the comments below, let me know, would you be happy with that? I personally think that would be quite cool. I think a lot of people would want Rooney. It's just a shame that they would have to wait so long to get him. Another thing to consider is prime icons are set to be released anytime soon. And like you saw in the first batch of icon swaps last year, we did actually see a couple of prime icons feature in it. Now, they weren't particularly too expensive ones, but they did still feature. So we could see 1 or 2 of them sneak in at some point. Okay, so here are my predictions, and they're in no particular order, so ignore the order they are in. It feels weird only predicting 6 cards, and I really hope that EA do actually include more than just 6 icon choices, but that's what we saw last year, so that's what I'm going to go off. I'm going to stick with what I said earlier in the video in regards to the top tier icons, these ones that are going to cost the most tokens, and I just can't decide between Cafu and Rooney. I think Rooney is the more likely one, but I'm going to include them both for the sake of this video. If I'm being honest, if this was like, you know, the top player pick, I would be quite torn in which I'm going for, because with Cafu you've probably got an end game, you know, fullback, but with Rooney you've just got a really, really nice item. But let's be honest, Rooney is more likely to be outdated than Cafu in the game, just because we get so many more attackers within Ultimate Team. But still, two nice options on the screen. Let me know which one you would go for if you had the pick of the two. Like I said just a few moments ago, I do expect one or two prime icons to feature, and I'm going to go for someone like a Hernan Crespo, just because he's got a decent card, which I'm sure would be attractive to some, but let's be honest, on the market it wouldn't be a card that would be too expensive. Maybe he'll have a bit of value when he like comes onto the market originally, but I think we all know his price will drop rather quickly. His mid card in Ultimate Team is 250k, and his baby is around the 160 mark, so they're pretty cheap items. And I think a prime Crespo, when it comes onto the market, will probably be what, like 500, 600k max. In the comments below, let me know what you think he will come in at, but nonetheless could be an okay reward for some swaps. Also, another thing, like I've said, I do expect a lot of the new icons to feature, and I hope they do, because that would bring some hype to it in my opinion. And I've thrown in a baby Van Persie. Now, baby Van Persie is actually more expensive than the mid one, so that's why I have included him. And this actually I think would be a popular reward if it was included, as long as it's, you know, wasn't priced too highly. If it was like, you know, one of the mid-range swaps, let's just have a look. So last year it was 17, 14 and 13. If this was like a 13 token icon or an 11 token icon, I think it'd be quite popular. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that in the comments once more. We're going to throw in a goalkeeper, and we're going to go for Casillas, and it is actually his prime card which I am going for. His mid is what, like 300k, his baby is 200. He's one of the best goalkeepers of all time, and I just think it would bring some more hype to icon swaps if they include a lot of the brand new icons. Because, like, let's be honest, like some of the older icons that we get every single year, I think most of us have tried out at least one version of them. So if they did throw in a bunch of new icons, I'm sure it would, you know, get a lot more people interested, or at least it would for me personally anyway. Now, I think this one would be quite interesting. I've gone for a mid Makelele. Obviously, the baby one is pretty worthless, so hopefully they don't throw that one in. But with it being a right mid, I guess it would be interesting. Like, baby Makelele as like the cheapest one would certainly be interesting for the game, because I do feel like a lot of people would actually go for that card because of its utility value. Anyway, I've gone for the mid version, who at the time of recording is coming in at around the 500k mark. So as one of the lesser swap token options, I think he could be, you know, a pretty good card, and I think it would be, you know, a popular one as well. If this card was what, like 11 or 13 tokens, I feel like a lot of people would go for it, especially with the French links that this guy provides. I also think it would be interesting for them to release this one, because we very recently had Petit available as an SBC. And then finally, I'm going to throw in over defender, and I am going to go for Prime Sol Campbell. A card which actually is quite good, and in previous years has been fantastic. However, this year, it probably won't be that expensive, because we've got so many pacey centre-backs already within the game. So they wouldn't have to price this one too highly in a FIFA like this, in my opinion. So yeah, Sol Campbell, I think, would be quite nice. Maybe a bit biased because I'm an Arsenal fan, and I would like to see an Arsenal icon involved. But you know what? I'm going to go for it. I think there's a chance of this one happening. I am actually going to throw in a bonus prediction, because I've just realised I don't have anyone in here who is actually super cheap, and I do think there will be one icon which is very cheap. So I'm going to go for mid Rui Costa, who is about 160k on the market, quite cheap. And since we've got obviously like all these Portuguese foundation players, I think it could actually be quite a nice icon swap option, especially if, as I say, it is a cheap option that doesn't cost too many tokens. And let's be honest, an icon that you can pick up for around like 150k shouldn't really cost too many tokens, or at least shouldn't, in my opinion anyway. But that's just my opinion, and I think my opinions and my ideas differ a lot from what EA's, you know, ideologies are. So that's that. Those are my predictions for icon swaps number 1. I won't lie, I'm not expecting to get many of them right. There's like 100 icons within the game, and I can only guess like 6 or 7. So the odds, sorry, are not particularly in my favour, but it's a bit of fun, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it nonetheless. Hopefully you enjoyed the info at the start of the video as well. Anywho, as per usual, be active in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. Which players do you want to see in the upcoming selection? Which players do you think EA will will go for. And if you've enjoyed the video, obviously do drop a like rating on it, just because it really does help out the channel more than you know. Just a little bit of interaction really does help. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.